Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Audibility Time All Star Season. Okay, Kiwan's back, aka Dr. Tabari. Um, First off, you already know you're an all star. I was gonna ask, how does it feel to be surprised to be on an all star season? You know you're an all star. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves you.
Thank
Um,
you.
okay. But first, before we start, I, I just know this episode is going to be spectacular. Um, we're going to be talking about, man, this has got to be fire. We're going to be talking about how capitalism affects mental health.
This is huge.
This is huge. Um, so, with that being said, Tabari, take it away. Because I remember you had recommended this topic.
hmm
Um, Talk a little bit about it.
Well, at the time, I just was really burnt out, and I was feeling like I was just really being lazy. I was looking at, I went to a high school that had a lot of high achievers, like valedictorians, people that have gotten into Harvard, Yale, like just really. Like, especially where I come from, Detroit, it just meant a lot. A lot of people around me, super high achievers. And I always felt like my path to success or whatever was different. And I just feel as though when I was just looking at my life and the jobs I was taking and the jobs that I'm still in right now, not feeling fulfilled.
Mm,
Like I'm not doing the things that I genuinely want to be doing.
right.
And I feel like I have the choice not to be doing these type of jobs.
Mm-hmm,
Like
mm-hmm.
easy for everybody else. Also, partly discovering that I may have ADHD. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that being added on top of just working. And then also pairing this with I had a close friend and he over the summer, he was navigating through some stuff, really stressed out by, he really woke me up to what was going on in the world and just the stress that comes with working. Any job, just working all the time. And it's not that we do have the option to work or not to work, but we really don't because it's like survival of the fittest. It's like if we don't work, we don't live, we don't eat, we don't get health care, we don't get certain things. It's like you can't even eat without working. Um,
Right.
and the reason why this meant a lot for me to bring up and to talk about with you because I feel like it affects all of us on our spiritual level. And that's been the main focus for me is spirituality. How can I be spiritually in tune if I'm stressed the fuck out at my
Right.
job, you
Right.
know? But yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
The, when you had mentioned that, just to begin with, and I told you I was like, I have been talking about that just recently. Capitalism and the societal matrix all together. They're both intertwined. It is part of the societal matrix. Um, and the reason why I'm mentioning that, because folks that aren't watching this through video, by the way, the video link will be in the episode description below. Um, Everything that he was saying, I was like nodding my head. I was just like, I feel that. I feel that. Um, we have like basic needs, as human beings:
We do.
shelter, food, you know what I mean? Just basic human needs. And it sucks that we have to work and work and work just to get that. You know, I'm not trying to go too political or nothing like that. However, for one of my policy classes, social work policy classes, I did research on some things, and our country does have the funds to provide food and shelter for
hmm
every citizen in this country
hmm
without raising taxes.
hmm
Now, you're not going to hear that on the media because it's not like they want to do it because it's just more money out. The 1%, they're still going to be making a lot of money. They're just like, for example, here's an example of the money that they'll be making. So they rather make 600 billion, and this is just hypothetically speaking, and then I'm gonna tie it into your question. They rather make 600 billion and keep it all for themselves than make 500 billion, um, if they can, by giving people the basic needs
Right.
that can be done.
Hmm.
So it's just like they're still making a boatload of money. They just, it's always about that $1 though that they gotta get. They just gotta get that one extra dollar. They're gonna make 600 billion regardless. It's just not gonna be, oh, in a month. It's going to be probably within 3 months. So it's just like it's greed and the lack of patience, and that need for financial security. Because, like you said, financial security, um, or the lack of financial security can impact one's spirit. I feel
Hmm.
like because that is a worry, that is a stress that is constantly on your mind. It's constantly being thrown at you. If someone drives by with a really nice car, whether they're in debt or whether they're not in debt, I don't know in that moment. I'm just looking, I'm like, wow, how awesome it must to to feel so financially secure that you have a Ferrari. Like I'm looking at people like that and I'm not thinking, oh, they're in debt. I'm thinking, wow, they have so much financial spiritual security that they're able to just go out and buy a car that can pay for a house. And that's not bashing them. I'm just saying like that's what goes through my mind because I'm sitting here struggling, and it's been impacting my spirit, so much so. I'm gonna just be honest with you, so much so. Like folks know that I struggle and suffer from suicidal ideations. That's
Hmm.
just a part of my mental illness with ERD, and the other mental illnesses that I do have. Um, ERD, MDD. Um, Apparently, my ADHD is actually a mild form of autism, which most people's are. The thing is just like it looks almost exactly the same, and our doctors are just quick to say ADHD when really we have a mild form of autism. I don't think that they're taught to, I don't know. I think that there's agenda behind it because if it comes out that many people have a mild form of autism, I think people are going to start blaming the vaccines that we're required to take when we're born.
Yeah.
Because I
Hmm.
already know that that's a controversial topic of that they
Hmm.
cause autism. So I think there's a strategic. But anyways, I did I say PTSD? I mean, it's like you can't tell now because of so much healing. But anyways, long story short, I suffer with suicidal ideations, and I wasn't one that was ever scared of debt because I had some form of a steady income to at least pay little by little. However, these past few months, I have not had that, and just you know, being in debt, it made me more suicidal. It made me just be like, I can't escape this. It feels like it's gonna last forever. Now I've been able to pay off, not pay off. I've been able to pay. I've been able to meet all the deadlines. For example, like
Hmm.
the credit card deadline. Pay
Hmm.
a certain amount once a month. I've still been able to meet that. However, it's just been such an unnecessary amount of stress, and it's even more frustrating because I see the societal matrix. I feel like I'm outside of the societal matrix because I'm. It's like you don't really know that you're in a bubble unless it's popped. You
Mm.
know, because like the bubble, like you're in the bubble, and bubbles are mostly transparent. If you look really closely, you might be able to see something's different. Something there's a little like weird color within the bubble. You know, like you can, when a bubble hits the sun, you can see certain colors or something like that. Anyways, I popped that bubble um, unknowingly, unwillingly. Um, it was thanks to just learning, doing extensive research that I was able to, that bubble was popped. And now I'm glad the bubble was popped, but it hurts more. And the fact that I'm sitting in debt and they're charging interest, they want they want us to be in debt because that's more money for them. Not only are we paying them back the money, but we're also being charged extra. And so that is just that part of capitalism in and of itself. Um, Recently has made me even more suicidal. I'm doing okay today, but it's just a reality. I do suffer with it. I just say it. The reason why I'm saying it so calm like this is because I want to just accept that part of myself, lovingly. I don't think me hitting it with a hammer is going to help it. I think me hugging it and loving it back together is going to be what's best for me. And that's been working so far. It's not like beating myself up for that. But, anyways, yeah. And it sucks because I just felt like I'm a puppet in the societal matrix, aka capitalism. And it's of course been affecting my spirit. It's been so affecting my spirit. So I'm doing a lot better today because my school sent me some money, thankfully. But
Real.
I'm still right. I'm still having to recover and decompress from the spiritual turmoil that the fact that we need money, has done to me. Last thing, I hate money. I wish we can go back to the barter system where,
Trading. I've been
right,
saying this. I've been saying this. I don't understand why we can't go back to trading services. If you do hair, if I do nails or something like that, we should trade services. If I sell milk and you, I don't know, you're a gardener, we should trade services.
Mhm.
I don't know if we could ever get rid of money at this point, but
Right.
I feel like we should reincorporate trading. There should be trading. I feel like because sometimes
And not stock market trading, folks. That's not what we're talking about.
no, not that type of trading. Because what I realized, even with like my own friends, we're all very skilled at something. And I notice I'll go to a friend for something specific because they're very specifically good at this thing, but they don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money necessarily,
Mhm.
but we can trade services. The stuff that I'm good at and the stuff that they're good at, we can trade that knowledge, even if it's just knowledge. Like there's a lot of stuff I've learned spiritually or things that I've done mental health wise to help people, just talking to people. I could trade that service for something else. It's just like, I feel like the world, if I was able to tailor it, I would do it more on a trading system based on what are people good at? What are you passionate about doing? Let's get you passionate enough to do that, and we're going to trade there.
Right. Right.
But
Exactly.
as far as like the stress of like capitalism, I really felt it. I remember when we first did probably our second podcast last school year, last semester.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
basically when I basically something had happened with my financial aid with my school, so I randomly later had to pay like $1,000 to them. Had nowhere near $1,000, and I was too busy going to class. I couldn't work full time during the school year, so I had to conjure $1,000. I don't know how I did that. I mean, I guess I had to work more. I had to work more. Then I had to like go to my family, which you don't want to do because
Right.
your family aren't multimillionaires either. So that's stressing you out because they have to work more. You have to work more. And it's just to go to school. And school is a whole different section of capitalism because
Exactly.
you're paying for me, school for me costs about 30,000 a year.
Hmm.
And basically, if you're not getting those scholarships, which is basically like, trying to sell yourself to organizations, you're not you're not getting all that money that you need to pay 30K a year, which is crazy because a lot of the knowledge that you learn in classes are stuff that you can just go read in a book. But if you just go educate yourself with a book, you tell your job later, "Oh, I read these books. I'm very educated. I took notes on all this stuff. I know how to do accounting. I read all these books and I took lectures and stuff." They're not going to give you the job because they want you to do a degree. Only way to get the degree is to go through capitalism. It's like certain things are blocked off unless you go through capitalism.
Exactly.
Um,
Strategically. Hmm.
they are placed there. And then what was more interesting to me is that to escape the stress of capitalism, you almost have to be a part of the system of capitalism.
Exactly.
So I realized this through my own, just full transparency through my own entrepreneurship like journey and the things that I do. Like I do like tarot, I talk to people, motivate people. Still working on that book. I That's a whole separate conversation.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I was gonna ask you about that.
I realized that through that, I'm also just going to be put in the process of capitalism. I have to, you market what you're selling to other people so they buy from you. And it's more people that probably don't have a lot of money giving to you. And you have to convince them to keep coming back to you to give up their money. It's like a non ending cycle of just being part of it and being stressed out by it and being part of it.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
Now, for how I personally have coped with this, personally, I've coped with it through my own spirituality. You
Yeah.
have to constantly remind yourself, and this will lead into another conversation, that your self worth is not tied to your wealth.
Mm.
It's not the same. And I'll say that again, like your self worth is not tied to your wealth. We base all our value on what we have or what we don't have better. And people have to realize the fact that you're breathing is the wealth, is the success. I made a video on this recently. You breathing is the success. The skills and the gifts that you already have, you already are successful. Um, People's idea of success is so misconstrued because we look at like, baddies on the internet, we look at like rich men and stuff like that, and they have like the long, like in terms of a woman, long nails, body done, long hair. In terms of a guy, jewelry, cars, nice clothes. That's what we all like subconsciously are trying to be. And to a certain degree, yes, it is appetizing, but that's not what's going to make you worthy. You're not going to feel any better once you get those things. Yes, you'll remove the bills and the stress, but I think what people don't realize is that when you get money, it's just going to remove the external stress. It's not going to remove the internal stress.
What? Bro, I'm writing that timestamp down. Continue. I'm writing the timestamp down for
Because but
advertisement.
because there's two different types of stresses to me. There's external stresses and there's internal stresses. There are the things that are externally stressing you out, like other people, friends, family, your car stopped working, bills you have to pay, debts, loans, school, work, bosses, enemies, anything, natural disasters. Those are external stresses that you can't control. And you can't do anything about changing that.
Right.
The money will solve all of that. Money can get people away from you, money can get you on a private island, money can get you away from all of that.
Hmm.
It's not gonna Money can't get you away from self-hatred,
Mm.
get you away from the stuff that you don't like about yourself. It can't get you away from body dysmorphia. Can't get you away from depression. Can't get you away from anxiety. Can't get you away from loneliness. Can't get you away from finding true love in a partner. Can't get you away from that.
Right.
There's certain things that money cannot buy. And I think I have to remind myself of that. And that's why it's so important to involve yourself in some form of a spiritual practice that
Yes.
separates you from your ego. Because your ego wants you to have the money and do for yourself, but you have to separate from that.
Right. There is too many stuff that you said that I just it's just so amazing and I don't know what to respond now because there's too many things that I want to respond. Oh my gosh. I guess the broader picture, the overall picture of what I want to say is where's that video that you talked about? I want to put it in the episode description below.
The video, the one that I made, yes, it was a TikTok. I'll send it to you. It's a
Okay.
TikTok made, and it's just reminding people that the
Don't send me the video. Well, I want to see the video, but send me the link as well, so that way I can.
okay.
Right. Okay.
hmm Yeah, I was just reminding people in that is that we keep thinking the success is outside of us. I had this epiphany literally yesterday. I was just at work, and I don't know, I get most of my epiphanies at work for some reason. And
Mm-hmm.
um I was like, the success that I want is not outside of me. It's not a job. It's not something else. The success is in me. And I really like sat down with that, like, the success is in me. If the success is in me, I just have to bring it out of me.
Right.
The success is my skills, my talents, my passions, what I'm interested in. Like that's my success. That's what's going to get me fulfillment, self-fulfillment. And self-fulfillment doesn't look like money, a certain level of money.
Right.
It's
Right.
self-fulfillment and satisfaction. That's what we all want. That's why we go to jobs and get money and go to college and do this.
Right.
It's all self-fulfillment. The
Right.
reason why somebody wants to be a lawyer, you think you'll be fulfilled as a lawyer. The reason why you want to be an artist because it's fulfilling. And I realized we have to bring these qualities out. But capitalism won't allow you to do that. Capitalism wants you to go through a system to bring out what they want you to bring out. And it's about you bringing out the qualities that's best in you.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all it is. Success to me is just doing something you like to do and liking how you do it.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Just preach. Seriously. That's the thing. Capitalism can only do. Okay, how about this? Let me say it like this. It seems like capitalism, it's another distraction for us. It's another tool to help divide us. It's another tool to help suppress us. And like you were saying earlier, it's kind of like no, it is like you have to be a part of capitalism in order to make it more quote unquote livable
hmm
because like yeah, and this is what I'll say to that, folks. It's like honestly, doesn't seem like it seems like it's extremely hard, if it is possible, to escape it. You know, so I think something cool that we can do though is be aware that okay, we are in a capitalist system. And that's one of the things now. I love America, don't get me wrong. However, with any first world country, there are pros and cons, and capitalism seems to be more, um, it seems to be more prevalent and
hmm
present in first world countries. You
hmm
know, but yeah, what was I about to say? So I got that point. See, I should have wrote all this down, but I was too busy just mesmerized with the wisdom. It was
Thank.
yes. Oh, like
I like.
Beyonce
Oh,
said.
go ahead.
Oh, I was here. I'll let you finish. Like Beyonce said, it's the soul that needs a surgery. You remember that song, "Pretty Hurts"? Like you can have all these things, and capitalism. Unfortunately, we have to we we have to be in it in order to live. That's how they have it set up. Very, very strategic. It's very strategic, very well done. I will give the evil credit for that. It is very, very well done. They are very, very wickedly wise. And it just sucks that, the 1%, they're not really that a part of it. Well, I think they actually are just to a little bit because well, actually, no. We're the ones paying, not them. Um, yeah, and I forgot what I was gonna say, but that's okay because I may not have said what I wanted to say because I forgot, but I think I said what I needed to say.
Um, what I thought was interesting, what really opened my eyes years ago about capitalism, because I didn't realize, like you said, the bubble that you're in, you don't really notice in your reality so much sometimes, how much is affecting the world. What really got to me was the Notre Dame or Notre Dame building in France. It caught on fire some years ago. I think it was like 2, 3 years ago. And it
Mm-hmm.
caught on fire. It's like a big historical building in France that's been there like hundreds of years. And billionaires teamed up and got it fixed. Like it was on fire, like really bad. They got it fixed within, I don't know, like a few weeks. And the problem was over. No one heard of it again. It's up and it's fine, it's fixed. Billionaire teamed together to fix it. I thought was so interesting about that was they teamed together or collab to fix a building, but then there's still Skid Row that exists in LA.
Right.
There's still homeless people in every major city in the
In the
country.
country.
Every major city has homeless
Right.
people. Detroit has homeless people, Chicago has homeless people, LA has homeless people,
Yeah.
New York, all these places. And it's just interesting that billionaires teamed up with like 0.001% of their wealth and fixed
Right.
the problem. And it made me realize how much the money and the power money is like power in society. And you
Right.
could fix something. You could just fix it. Like whatever problem that we're all having as a collective could just be solved with money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like externally. It could just be solved. The homeless problem could just be solved.
I'm gonna be
Or
writing stuff down while you speak, but I'm literally listening. That's why I'm writing down, taking notes.
that's what's so interesting to me that it's like when you have a lot of money, you almost can become like a deity on earth because it's like you could just fix it. You
Yes.
could just fix whatever it is. And I feel like that's what makes us like crave money so bad because we know it'll unlock those powers. But like I said earlier, it's not gonna be able to fix the internal stuff. Um, but I just thought that was interesting. Like they teamed together to fix that, but the problems that we're facing could be fixed too. Like I don't know. Like how
Exactly.
there inadequate housing, there's not enough housing. There's
Right.
plenty of land. There's plenty of land. That's also another thing. They trick us into believing there's too many people in the US. There's too many of us. That is a lie. There is not too many people. There's
Right.
plenty of places. Rich people or people of the 1%, they buy a bunch of land to not touch it. They just
Mm-hmm.
buy a bunch of land and they don't touch it.
You heard
And
what
then
they did in
I,
Hawaii, right?
I'm sorry?
You heard what they did in Hawaii, right? I ain't
No?
gonna go there. Never mind.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay.
I'm not gonna go
But
there. You get on my
they
nerves.
they buy a bunch of land and they don't touch it. They have like 5 houses, tons of acres, tons of land, 5 houses.
Yeah.
It's insane. And then it's like they were like, oh, there's not enough land, there's not enough space, it's too many people, population control. No, the problem is capitalism. That is the number one problem. It's
Right.
capitalism. Greed. Greed is one of the 7 deadly sins,
Yes.
and that is a prevalent issue. But that's why it's funny enough because I actually aspire to um, attract a lot of money so I could be part of
Same.
the solution. That's
That's
for me.
right.
I have a deep like I guess you could say bitterness or anger or passion when it comes to money that could just solve an issue. Like to me, I just feel like what is it to me to have billions and billions of dollars just to keep to me? I'm not gonna spend all this money before I die. I'm not gonna
Right.
have that.
Exactly. Yeah.
If
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
just spent 2 million here, 2 million there, wouldn't
Right.
hurt. Like a quarter to me. And
Exactly.
that I could fix a whole community's issue.
Right.
And that's for me what I aspire to do. But even at this level, you got to do what you can. So right now, I make videos, I write
Right.
things, I talk to people, I
Yeah.
offer knowledge and resources as much as I
And we'll
can.
put your his TikTok will be also in the episode description below. So for all you TikTokers, y'all can go check him out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
please do.
got four things
Mm-hmm.
that it made me think of, and I'm glad I wrote it down so I can remember. I love what you just said. This is the thing. It's kind of like we got to be a part of the system in order to change it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, because honestly, like if you want to just have even just the basic needs, you got to be a part of the system. You can't escape it. But what we can do is be a part of it, be aware, and change it. Now we might not be able to change like the 1%'s mind. No, we're not going to be able to do that. Because if they wanted to, they could. Like if
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to really, the 1% really wanted to help, they could. But that's the thing. That's why they're known as the 1%. They see themselves separate and different from us. They have a different type of pride and security that most people do not have. Um, Money is power. Money can be dangerous. It is one thing to have money, and then it's another thing for money to have you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it's just like at the end of the day, the 1% think they have a lot of money, but at the same time, money has them. Because they're the ones just like, I gotta keep getting this, keep getting this, keep getting this. And that dollar bill is just sitting there looking like, look at these fools clamoring over me. Look at these fools hating and dividing each other over me. You know what I mean? That dollar bill, just sitting there living its best life, and everybody's killing each other, literally. Now, killing each other don't always look like guns. It looks like also neglecting this reality that our society, you know what I mean? There are people in our society right now who are starving. You know what I mean? And the 1%, if they so called love this country so much, I would think that they would at least want to help even just a little bit. But no, they don't love this country. They love the money that this country gives them. They love the money that they can manipulate out of this country.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let me rephrase that. Yeah, what this country gives them, and by this country I mean us, the people. We're not taught to recognize. Guess what? Like we're there. We're giving these corporations. We're working so that they can get all this money while we just get a little bit. You know. But anyways, a part of my white collar criminals class that I recently just took. I love that class. It was very hard, um, spiritually slash and eternally, and it was also very hard because the professor. But that's fine. I can deal with hard professors. I don't care about that. But the hard part that I wanted to mention is um, it helped me even more, get further from the societal matrix, which is what I want to do. Knowledge and wisdom can be a burden. Even a sacred Christian text says that, and ignorance can be bliss. I would not be as stressed if I was still in the bubble, but I'd rather be out of the bubble and be stressed, you know what I mean, than be in the bubble and be preyed upon, manipulated. Still receiving damage, I just don't recognize it as damage because I'm
Mm-hmm.
just used to it because it's in the bubble, you know. And this is the thing about being outside of the bubble, being outside of the societal matrix. Yes, there is stress, but there also is strength that comes with it. There's also growth, like the enlightenment and the awareness. That part also is such a blessing. It's like of course, it has its moments where it's burden, but it also has its moments where it's blessing. And I've noticed I've been able to grow. I feel like I'm going to be a different type of successful going forward in my life because I am outside of the societal matrix. And this is not bashing anyone who is inside the societal matrix. It is hard to break out. I didn't break out on my own. I didn't even want to break out. I didn't even know that I needed to break out. And that's how they have it set. You know what I mean? They're just like, yeah, you have freedom, but really, it's still in the box. You just got a little bit more room in this box, but it's still in the box. It's limited freedom. It's restricted freedom.
Hmm.
Secondly, when it comes to, oh yeah, that's what I was going to mention. So you know how people say, because it's true, no one is above the law. No one. But money is above the law. Money is above the law. And if money has you, you will be fine. And I'm not going to get too much into this, but folks, this is literally a reality. When corporations, um, it's very rare that they get caught. Well, that they go to court. There we go. It's very rare. But when they do and they actually go on trial, which is extremely even more rare, um, the law bends for them. So when it comes to this, and this is literally what I've been researching, this is what I learned in class. Honestly, I feel like if the government knew that my teacher was teaching this, I think he'd be shot. But and researching all these texts, hearing what the professor's saying, seeing the videos, and all this stuff. So this is how the corporations get tried. Y'all ready, folks? So they just have to prove that they didn't mean to harm others. It doesn't matter how many people's money they stole. It doesn't matter. The damage, it doesn't matter the damage, it matters what was their intent.
Hmm.
And of course, their intent was to take money, but it is very easy to prove that their intent was not to steal money from all these people. It is so easy, folks. That is literally their reality when they go to court, if they go to court. You know what I mean? I'm not even joking, folks. That is literally their reality. Now, um, if you who are not in the 1%, if you still who are middle class or lower class, if you steal money, or how about this? If the way the law is bended for them, if that was bended for us, I don't think manslaughter would exist as a criminal charge, because manslaughter is you didn't mean to kill the person. You didn't intend to. But guess what? The damage is done. People's families are crying and hurting. It doesn't matter. You killed the person. And that's even if you'll be charged with manslaughter. A lot of people just get charged with second degree murder. You know, but you. This is just showing like money is above the law. It is. It is. You can pay people off, which they do a lot. You can pay the judges off, which they do a lot. And I'm not bashing the judges because I'm sitting here in this capitalist society, and by capitalist society, I mean the global capitalist mindset that many countries have. It's just a thing. You know, it's just that first world countries tend to have it a lot better. It's the pros and cons with a first world country, folks. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect. But if I was the judge, I would say I'm 99.999% sure that I would not take that bribery. However, I don't know because at the end of the day, I am not a part of the 1%. Therefore, I still have to be in the grips of capitalism in order to live. So it's just like I might take the money in order so that I can live and that I can help others live. Because I have a very disgusting relationship with money. Like, I hate money. My father was a pastor, the man was wealthy. Did I get to enjoy some of that? No, not really. Um, but I've seen how money can have someone and how money can be more important than those that you're supposed to love. Anyways, so that's that. And then the last thing is, oh, the last two things. I'm gonna be quick. I'm gonna be quick. I realize I've been rambling. We're conditioned to think that it's simply handouts if we give money or give shelter to those who are homeless. We've been
Hmm.
conditioned to think that. We've been conditioned to think that it's coming out of our money. Some of it is. Um, the thing is, it doesn't have to, though. But they have it set like that because it's directly affecting us. It's directly affecting our wallets, which a lot of us are struggling as it is. So of course we don't want to give out more money. We need the money for ourselves first to make sure we gotta live. You know, so yes, it is coming out of our taxes. But the literal reality is, statistically speaking, research speaking, folks, I got the credentials to back this up. You know, it does not have to be like that. And then the last thing, um, like we do have the money to give people shelter, and it doesn't have to come from the taxpayers. Again, the last thing, going back to what you said, and I would love to know your thoughts on this last thing, or any thoughts that I just on what I just said. But when you mentioned, the barter system, um, you helped me to see something. Is that it? It 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 encourages creativity. It
Hmm.
encourages, people just their gifts. You know what I mean? Just trading good for good. It seems like when we're working for money, um, it seems like it limits creativity. It seems like that's taking all of our energy, and it's not our fault. It is just the unfortunate reality of how they got us set up in.
Yeah.
I'm
And
pissed.
if you think about it, it could, I mean, and in many ways, it could stop robbery. I mean, people are usually getting robbed for money. They're usually robbing banks for money. But if we started to put the focus of wealth on our abilities, on who we are, I mean, what are they gonna do? They
Right.
can't. It's no more money. It's no more credit cards to take. It's no more scamming to be do. You are the asset. You are the wealth. Um, what I say?
Preach.
A very like abstract kind of concept. It ties into capitalism. I kind of want to talk about with people is me and my friend were researching, and you know, I'm not against astrology or tarot, any of that, because that's all that stuff
Me
I.
either. Exactly. Spirituality. Woo.
But
Yes.
but this is the point I want to make because I really want people to shift their mindset. Stop thinking that you're not getting ahead because of you, because you're not valuable. A lot of the celebrities or people that you watch, they are utilizing someone who's good with spell work or somebody who's good with astrology in order to grow who they are. They're using magical practices in what they're doing. So you're thinking you're not good enough because you're working hard and you're not reaching celebrity status, but you don't realize that there is the Satanism, demonic contracts, which we won't get into. Then there's the
I
magical
mean, we
stuff.
can.
There's the magical stuff that goes on, and then this has been proven too. Lots of billionaires use astrology to plan out when they're going to do their deals in stocks and trading.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real thing that people pay a service for.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a good point.
I want people to stop thinking that they're
Say that
not.
part again. You want people to what?
Oh, I was saying I want people to stop thinking they're the problem. Stop
Okay,
thinking.
gotcha. Because it went quiet. I couldn't hear you.
I want people to stop thinking that you're the problem. Like these people at the top are utilizing resources that I mean we do have access to, but how do I explain this? They are using advantages. They are using privileges to get ahead. They're using privileges to keep their wealth. So it's many people I follow that I really admire. They do a lot of spell work and they do a lot of astrology and a lot of stuff to help celebrities get ahead. It's tons of celebrities that I won't name that I know for sure see a psychic, they see an astrologer. And and that ties in with the capitalism too. They have more money so they can get more people to do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, to sum up the entire point is that, celebrities, people at the top, they have all these resources, all this stuff that's helping them propel in their career. So if you're not propelling in career, it's not the fact that you're not working hard enough. It's not that. Okay. Everybody has value. But once they get into that system, into the industry, they make sure they're successful. Once they sign those contracts, they make sure they're successful. It's a cost to that though.
What does that cost?
Their personal happiness and their soul. Everything dealing with their soul, everything dealing with their spirituality. You're It's funny because a lot of celebrities actually they're no different than us. They look like they are. They're still puppets. They're
Yeah.
still a lot of the things that you see celebrities doing, we when we see it in the news, we think it's them. We think it's like them. It's not them. It's always somebody above them that they can't say that is doing something to them. They are a puppet. And
Right.
as much as we may feel like puppets, they are too. So I just want people to realize that don't even put your stock into celebrities. Don't put no stock into these people above you with all these followers. They
Right.
are probably struggling just as much as you are, just maybe not externally, but internally, they're going through it. They are a slave to the system too.
Right.
Celebrities are playing into capitalism and probably stressed out by it, but they're not going to show us
Yeah.
that because
Because
it's
they
not.
get told you gotta get surgery on this, you gotta get surgery on that, you gotta look more appealing, you
Yeah,
gotta show more. Yeah,
imagine you just want to go to a red carpet and wear what you want to wear,
Right.
but you're under this contract or deal where you have to wear this outfit. You wear this outfit, you go on the red carpet. Everybody in society is calling you ugly for this outfit that you wore. You're getting depressed because it's something that you had to wear.
Mm. Mm.
You come out with music, everybody's like, this album is horrible, this music is horrible. It's something you had to make because the industry told you had to do it.
Mm. This could be a whole nother episode, couldn't it? This could be a whole nother episode, couldn't it? I'm glad I'm not a celebrity because what we just talked about, we'd get shot. Oh, they would come after us.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I couldn't talk about this. Like the more that I probably go up in following, and as I grow and expand online and stuff, it's sad because I feel like maybe I would have to be quieter about that topic. But
Same,
top-
exactly.
that topic, it's not a conspiracy theory. This is truth.
It's a right. We're
I
just taught to think, oh, that's conspiracy. No, folks, that comes from some. It's literally true. It's literally true.
Please take it from me. I am connected. I follow in close rankings with these people that do the spiritual work for the celebrities, and celebrities depend on them. Down to basketball players winning their games. That has an influence. That has a like everything is fake. Basically, all this media, all this stuff that we be consuming is fake. You're thinking you're since you're overweight or you look like this, you're not worthy. You're working as a janitor, you're not worthy. You're a college student, you're broke, you're not worthy. Get rid of that mindset. That's the part I'm just clear of. Get rid of that. Because the people that you're glamorizing, that you have on your wall, are pop.
Right. Eh, That's the thing. Another thing that you made me think about is the how they are the top, the higher evil powers. And I'm not saying necessarily demonic at this point. I mean, in this context, for this, no, I'm saying like the humans or
Mm-hmm.
the ones that look like humans. Um, is they're depending on the internal uh, insecurities and torment and turmoil that capitalism brings upon us. They're
Mm-hmm.
depending on us to see ourselves as not worthy. They're depending on us to
Yes.
compete against each other. Because guess what? If we're competing against each other, we're not looking at the higher ups, are we? We're not looking at like don't I'm not gonna get started on this, but here's an example is, police departments are puppets. We're going to attack the police because it keeps our eyes off of the real things. I'm just going to leave it right there, but there are a few corporations that it literally, and folks, I'm saying that if y'all do research, I'm sure you're probably not going to respond how I responded. I just struggle with suicidal ideations. I suffer from it. That's just been a thing for forever. Um, but in my policy class, I almost quit my major. Um, and I didn't go to class for 2 weeks. In one of those weeks, I was extremely suicidal because I was enlightened and did research on the reality behind there's some corporations and that are the higher ups and folks, it had to been some stuff for me to do to make me respond like that. So I'm not gonna go into it, but I want y'all to see something symbolic is my response to the truth of what they don't want us to know. It really impacted me for those 2 weeks, folks. They are depending on us to compete with each other. They're depending on us to not see our worth. They're depending on us to attack a puppet. You know what I mean? They're depending on us to attack the leaves on the tree because that distracts us from getting to the actual root. Um, they're they need us to succeed, but they don't want us to know that they need us to succeed. Because without us, without middle class and lower class, they can't succeed. But they need us um, more than we need them. Trust me. But they need us. But we're not gonna we're not gonna be taught to see that. The media is gonna make sure that we come at each other and all that good stuff. The media is it's run by those corporations too that run the prison. But let me shut up. Let me be quiet before I get shot.
It all ties together. All of
Right.
it.
It's so
Every
much false. It's so much, like you
every
said, so much stuff is not real.
everything
It's
is fake.
perception.
Everything is fake. If
Mm-hmm.
think about how easy this is. If I go on my phone and I make a video talking
Oh
about
my God,
something.
is yours pink? Oh, is
No.
that your shirt? Oh, okay. I thought it was pink. I was about to say twins.
No, it's the tarot card. Um what the heck was I about to say?
Sorry.
Um oh, if I go on my phone and I make a video, I can say anything and people will believe me. I could say anything. Perception is everything. I could say this happened to me, this happened to me, this is what's going on in my life. I can make up a whole storyline. People will believe me. Probably go viral. They believe me. And who's no one's gonna be able to get the truth. So I
Right.
can
No
just
one's gonna be able to checks and balance and hold accountable because
you can yeah, I could just be really on the internet, you can just be who you want to be, but think further than that. Think about media, think about corporations, especially put the money towards it. So if somebody tries to go investigate, they can't because they have the money to make sure you can. So this looks like truth because you're blocked from the lies. Like you can't see the lies because they pay people to make sure you don't see the lies.
right.
Um, but you can really do anything. But I say to I don't want to leave the people unmotivated,
Oh
but
yeah, no, I know. That's why I'm about to write something down too.
in order to supersede this stuff is to be reminded of your personal value. You're more than just a human. You are everybody listening, and you, Josiah, are all very powerful spiritual beings. And as
Yes.
someone who has studied all different types of spirituality, there's so much we can do with our brains and with our bodies that we don't even fathom we can do.
Right.
We are so powerful, and our power is being constricted, especially as African people. As African people, we have a lot of deep rooted power, and don't allow capitalism to bring you down. Just start with that mentality that I may have been freed from the external slavery, but I won't allow mental slavery. If you can get over that mental slavery, if you are still going to your job, you're still gonna know, okay, I'm not this job. This won't be my life forever. That's the mindset you have to get into. This will not be my life forever. I have a plan out of this. There is a way out of this. I am not a slave to this job. I am not a slave to society. The dream that I have, I can have it.
Right.
Okay. It doesn't have to come hard. I shouldn't have to stress. I shouldn't have to work for 60 hours a week. I shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
I will have rest. I'm going to take time to remind myself how powerful I am. And that's going to take two, connecting with God in your own way.
Yes.
Have a close relationship. If you could just keep connecting with God, you'll understand that all this stuff is fake. All this stuff that other humans are doing to me is not real, and it's not going to hold me back,
Right.
because I can supersede this stuff. Like,
Right.
yes, I'm working right now. For me, yes, I'm in college. Yes, I have a job and all this stuff, but
But you're aware. You're
I'm
aware, and it's no
I'm
one
aware.
makes a change by being like everybody else. You know what I mean? So it's just like you're aware because we can make capitalism work for us to an extent. And like you said, like, whenever you get your millions and billions of dollars, you're going to help people as well. You know what I mean? Like,
Hope
we're
the people listening will do the same. If we all can just do that and do our best, we could make stuff happen on our own. Fuck
right.
them. We don't need them.
Right, right, exactly. And I was like, folks, like this is we can stand together and because they're just 1%. They're 1%. All these people in this country, and then you got 1%. There's a lot of people in this country, and it's just like millions of us people. They are just very wickedly wise because they can turn, you know, that's okay. The best way to defeat numbers is to distract them. Is to make the numbers go for themselves. And something, and I'm about to also and leave the people encouraged as well. But folks, it is very understandable if you're listening to this and you're, um, laughing at this or saying, "Oh, that's not real." So I want you to research that discomfort that you're feeling. Investigate that discomfort that you're feeling. Investigate that instinct to completely just deny everything that we're saying. I want you to recognize who you heard, um, that all this is like the things that me and Dr. Tabari, because he will be one day, and Kiwan, um, this will be labeled under conspiracy theory. Okay, when it just comes to any conspiracy theories, let's just talk about this since we're in this present moment. Is who did you hear that what me and Kiwan are saying isn't true? Where did you hear that from? And also ask yourself, do you have the research to back it up? The really deep research, to back it up. Um, if you're telling yourself, well, I just always heard that that's just conspiracy, that's not true, that is not a credible source. So investigate that, folks. You're not bad for thinking that. They want you to think that. You're instantly going to have that. You're instinctively going to have that. Oh, this is conspiracy. You know, um, and then also, folks, it's kind of like that $100 bill that's on the ground. That thing is stomped on, looking dirty, just a mess. But it's still it doesn't look like it deserves to be $100. But it doesn't matter what it deserves. It matters what it's worth. It's worth that $100, regardless of how it looks. Folks, we are kind of like that $100. However, we're humans. We can do so much. We're human beings. We do so much more than what $100. All $100 can do is just buy, $100 worth of items. It still has its worth, because we give it value. We give it. It doesn't have to earn it. We give it. However, humans, we are valuable. We are worth. We can do things that money can't do. Money
Mm-hmm.
can't hug someone at night. You can't pick up the phone and call money when you're crying. Thomas Jefferson, he's not going to be listening. The man's dead, and that's just a photo on the dollar on the what is it, $100 bill?
I don't even remember. I don't know what you're
I don't
talking about.
remember. It's whatever it is. It's a dollar bill. It's not caring how you're feeling, but we give it worth. We're worth so much more than $100 bill, regardless of what someone or something tells you. You are valuable, folks. And if no one today has told you that you are valuable, please allow Kiwan and I to be the first, and then
Mm-hmm.
allow yourself to be the second. Folks, you are valuable. You are worthy. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to deserve worth. You don't have to earn worth despite what society and things are telling you. That's not how human spirits work. You are worth. You are worth. You are more than your highs and your lows. You are just valuable as you are. You know? These material things, they can't hold you at night. Folks, like deserving means earned. That's not even on our playing field as spiritual beings. Deserving is not even in our vocabulary. We don't need to be earned or deserved. We are just worth as it is, folks. Just straight up as it is. That's the reality of it. And with that being said, also, folks, I want you to randomly message somebody right now that they are valuable. And then don't respond back because it's funny. You'll see the response. What? But they need to hear that they're valuable. Someone do it. I'm about to message someone that they are worthy and valuable right
Oh,
now.
let me do that. Hold on. Let's.
Right, right, right. We gotta do it. Gotta do it. Okay. I don't know how to spell the word. Oh yeah, yes I do.
Let's see. Let's see. You are valuable. Let's see. Let's see.
Okay,
No,
boom.
everybody I'm texting has D&D on. Like, what's that about?
They have what?
D&D.
Oh.
Do not disturb. They have do not disturb on. Like, what is that about? Why do they have that on? Let's see.
Right? I'm just like,
Okay, great.
okay. Fabulous. All right, folks. This has been another episode of Vulnerability Time. Y'all know we will see Q1 in the future. I mean, seriously, season 5, I haven't even planned when that thing's coming out.
It's so funny. I remember when I was listening to you and Ajna Saraj on this podcast, and I was listening to it that same day. And it was so funny. I was at work, still listening to it, and then you messaged me while I was at work, and it was so funny. I was like, wow, I got to be like the next person after her, like on this podcast. Like that was so special to me. That
Yeah.
really did, and I feel like that really helped me propel myself confidently to take myself serious. This was the baseline for everything that I'm doing now, really.
You're about to make me cry. That is beautiful. Exactly. And I really believe in just like everything that you do. Your
Everything
videos have
you do, because like
inspired me.
with this podcast, everything you do, it's something money can't buy. The impact that you give on people, money won't even be. Well, money can't even describe the impact you're having on people
Thank
that
you.
have been involved with your process through this podcast.
I receive it. I receive everything that you just said. I receive it. And, like you said, it's that honor, the fact that you could be on this podcast, after Queen Ajna. you know, you are heard and healing all over the world. This podcast is top 14% most followed in the world. Um, and you're heard in over, I don't feel like counting all that, but many, many, many countries. I'm not going to count all that right now. My
Incredible.
mouth is dry. I'm not counting all that right now. But thank you, everyone who's listening. We will see Dr. Tabari, aka Kiwan. We're speaking it into existence. He's not a doctor yet, but we're speaking into existence.
Absolutely.
Exactly. All right, folks. See y'all next time
Bye.
on another episode of Vulnerability Time for whatever we will be talking about. Okay.